Going on, guys? Welcome back to the Broad Street Boys, and here we are, Caleb. We're back. Red October starts on Saturday. It is currently Thursday when we're recording this. I mean, it's only in a few days. What are your thoughts? Let's just hop right into it. This is a straight Phillies playoff just predictions, whether that's for the Dodgers or for things moving on. I would love to hear your overall predictions, your just overall vibes, thoughts. Let me hear it.
Philly ran it back as the NLDS champs. And this October 6th, this Saturday, Philly in LA, 2 games in Philly, 2 games in LA. And if needed a 5th game in Philly, it is going to be a great series. Maybe even the best series that we're going to see throughout the whole postseason. I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath with Sanchez going up against Ohtani the first game. And I love that matchup. And as a Philly fan, I'm super excited too. Because, Sanchez, the past 2 times he's faced the Dodgers, has absolutely lit them up. He is one of the very few pitchers across all of baseball to make Ohtani look lost at the plate. I don't know what it is, but his changeup, Ohtani cannot hit it. I remember the first time we played them this year, I think it was a rainy game, but Ohtani could not pick up Sanchez's changeup. And if he mixes his pitches just like that, I think we're going to take game 1. But I am super excited for this. Evan, we're going to win. I've got a feeling we're going to win.
I hope so. This game is, this series, I think I agree with everything you just said. I think this series might, or at least it has the traction to be the single best series of this entire postseason. I've called it from the very beginning that this postseason is going to be electric. It already has been electric. We're currently recording this at 12:30, and so we have yet to see the pretty much Game 7s happening later today, which is crazy. Obviously, the Dodgers were going to beat the Reds. The Reds might have been the worst playoff team I've ever seen. But we're both so excited for this. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. Chris Sanchez has now. I'm not gonna lie, we kind of cooked. I don't know if you remember, but in the beginning of the year, we were talking about the guys that we think are going to take that next step. Our long shot type of guys. Sanchez was on our list, and look at him now, Cy Young contender. Hopefully, we'll see. Probably not. But
he will be the runner-up.
I think so.
Skeens had an amazing year.
Did.
But what a year he had. Wheeler goes down. People start to panic a little bit. What happens? Sanchez, Luzardo, Nola to some extent, Suarez, everybody kicks it up a notch.
It's crazy. I feel like it's a classic Philadelphia sports mindset of as soon as one dude goes down, the team starts playing better. The same thing. I'm not trying to make comparisons, obviously, because this team did win the Super Bowl, but it's very similar to when Carson Wentz went down. Their best player and leader went down, and then all of a sudden, the entire cast of just randos start to win, and then all of a sudden, Nick Foles is now a legend. But I see some parallels in there for sure.
Well, we've seen it throughout the season too with the current team where Bohm goes down. You have Otto Kemp come up, who he's not an everyday player, but for a guy who has to fill the role of Bohm, just a guy who hits, he did a really good job. When Harper went down and they called him up, he did a fantastic job. It's little stuff like that. Back in 22, when we went to the World Series, Harper got hurt that year. Other guys like Schwarber, Castellanos, JT, they picked it up. And that is exactly what's happening with the pitching staff right now. Everybody, even guys in the bullpen, have taken it to a whole other level. And here's the thing. Philly made the right moves for this postseason. Getting Duran, Harrison Bader, even Walker Buehler, a guy who has
been great,
ample amount of postseason experience and has not only been in the postseason several times, but dominant.
Exactly. It's funny. The two of us were together for a majority of the day before the deadline, and then the deadline day we were texting about it. When they signed Duran, we were together, and then I was at work, and then they signed or traded for Harrison Bader. And initially I was like, oh, it was a good deadline. Obviously Duran's gonna be awesome, but I was like, yeah, this dude Harrison Bader could be another. I just thought he was being another Austin Hayes platoon guy.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out to completely take over in the end of August into September. I'm talking, what was he hitting at he had like a 2 or 3 week span where he was hitting like 500 with
When
just
we
hit after hit after hit. It was crazy.
when we traded for him, he was hitting around 250, 260. His batting average now is 284.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like ever since he came in, the vibe kind of changed in that outfield. Because I don't know, because obviously the two of us can see, but for everybody that hasn't, Braden Marsh since May is hitting around 300, and is currently hitting 280 something. And just to put him in the outfield with Harrison Bader, who's also hitting 280 and is also hot, has completely changed the landscape of not only the outfield but the lineup also.
I will add to that too. Moving Kepler back to right field may have helped his confidence.
Genius, honestly.
Since moving back to right field, I think he is hitting somewhere around 270 with more home runs, more production at the plate, better defense, less errors. I like Nick Castellanos. His time in Philly is done.
I think so too.
Defensively, he was a liability, so putting Kepler out and right is a defensive upgrade. And like his bat went cold. I don't know what happened there,
Yeah,
but having that Castellanos Kepler platoon when needed, whether it's mid game or lefty versus righty, it's gonna help a lot. And our outfield went from being one of the worst defensive teams to, I don't think we're one of the best still, but we're definitely a quality team you can put out there and just rely on the dudes to do their job. Bader, great at tracking down balls, has got an arm. Marsh, he's a Gold Glove contender. I think if he played the whole season in left field, he would probably be up for contention there. And then Kepler, who much better than Nick. I think he's got a positive defensive WAR.
I think so. Yeah,
Just like upgrades all around.
I agree. I just to talk about this outfield a little more. I actually initially I was like, what are we doing with just like another platoon in right field? I was like, I hate this. Like initially I was like, what are we doing? Like let's just keep a dude out there. But Castellanos smashes lefties, and I was just kind of thinking as you were talking about like the lefties on the Dodgers, and Blake Snell comes to mind, who's probably gonna be the pitcher for what, game 2 probably. Um,
Yeah.
and then Castellanos has already mashed Alex Vesia. He had that grand slam in that rainy day game, if you
Mm-hmm.
remember.
Yep.
They have some others that, and I see. I mean, this has not happened yet, but I don't know about you, but I could definitely see a scenario where he hammers a Tanner Scott inside sinker or something. Like I see a scenario with these lefties that he does match up well with. And I agree. Kepler's defense. I mean, obviously, like Nick Castellanos defensively, like anything's an upgrade. Like even if he was like still a negative WAR like Kepler, probably should still
Mm-hmm.
be a higher negative WAR than Castellanos' bottom floor negative WAR. But honestly, like I just feel more confident when something's hit to right field, which is kind of cool. Um,
Yep.
but and I agree. I definitely think there's a level of comfortability being in like your main position. Like he was always a right fielder in Minnesota. So the fact that he's back there, I feel like he's like, okay, I kind of like, here I am back here. Like I feel more comfortable, which is
Mm-hmm.
something very interesting. Um, I think we should start talking about a little bit our bullpen. What is your, let's just say, confidence level with this bullpen specifically, and who do you want to see in kind of like that 7-8 type of inning?
I'm confident in most guys right now. The only two I'm a little shaky on are Kirkering and Strom, just because they're hot and cold. For most of the season, Kirkering was great, one of our best relievers, but he hit a bump in the road, and since he hit that, he's been a little shaky. Um, so I do have a little bit of trust in him right now, and he'll probably he might be the guy I put out there in the seventh.
Sure, yeah,
Strom was shaky this year, but finished up much better. He's gonna be the guy I have in the eighth inning, and then obviously Duran's gonna close it out. But even like Tanner Banks, he's solid. David Robertson might be overused. Like for 40, signing him, that might be one of the best signs of the year.
I
I mean,
agree.
he
Or
has been great
yeah,
for us.
or at least the most underrated signing of the year.
Yes.
Because let's think of it. When I even heard that we were even thinking about David Robertson, I was like, dude, this guy's got to be like 80 years old at this point. Like, and the fact that this is now his third separate term with the Phillies, I'm like, dude, like what is happening? But then he kind of dealt in like the middle of August until like the middle of September, which was very useful, especially in certain like scenarios. Like didn't I'm actually yeah, I'm 100% sure that he closed out that the game in LA to get us that National League
Yep.
East division. He was the one
Hmm.
to close that out. But there's like certain things like that I feel like okay, he's pretty good. Um, and plus, I actually like the heartbeat on David Robertson as well. I like that he's been in certain situations before, so he knows how to deal with it, especially mentally. Um, and I do agree. Like, I think Kerkering, it's the more I'm trying to think of the way I should say this, but the more I watch Kerkering and Strom, the more I'm like, thank God we have Joan Duran. I like, thank God, because if we didn't have him and we were stuck with a closer in either Kerkering or Strom, depending on the matchups, that is not fun, and it wasn't fun for the first 3 quarters of the year.
Hmm.
And to go against the Dodgers specifically with that as our closer, that's stressful just to begin with. So that was also something I was thinking, and I actually do agree. I think I actually trust Robertson a very equal amount to Kerkering and Strom. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the matchups in like a funny way, especially in the seventh or eighth inning. Like if there's more righties, then they're going to put in Kerkering, or more lefties going to put in Strom. But then I also liked. I don't know if you saw Caleb. I think I said it to you, but Duran was asked in like an interview or something that like would you be willing to like do more than 3 innings, and he said like adamantly like yes, like he pretty much said like sometimes I get bored just doing 3 innings. I'm pretty sure that was a quote, and the fact that he would say that, it also puts us in a good spot to be him for him to do something like a Aroldis Chapman like last night and then the night before where Chapman came in for what 3 or 4 outs, 4 or 5 outs ish.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important to have a dude that can do that and then come back and pitch like a ninth inning the next game. I think the importance of that is crazy good. I honestly this bullpen is funny with just like the one dude in Duran. My entire outlook on this bullpen is completely shifted. And
Hmm.
I also feel the same way as I felt in 2022 when Sir Anthony was so good. Obviously, he's not the greatest closer of all time, but he was hot in that
Hmm.
postseason and going into the postseason. And I just feel like just get it to that ninth inning and at least in 2022 is like get Sir Anthony or Jose in there and they're probably going to close it out. And I feel the same way now with Duran. Like just get it to like the middle of the eighth where it's close, and then maybe you could think about putting them in. So that's definitely something I had in mind.
I've got a little trivia question for you.
Please.
What pitcher in the NL has one of the highest rated stuff across all pitchers?
Ooh, is it Ranger?
No.
Is it Duran?
Nope.
Well, I don't know then.
Kerkering.
Kirk.
That is how good he was
Huh.
until he hit that little bump.
He was so good.
His slider for a good chunk of the season was near unhittable.
Yeah, it's next level.
Hmm.
I think it's the movement on it because it's not a typical slider because it is a little more vertical if
It's
you
got a little
notice.
bit of a swoop to it.
It does, and it is nasty like that. I mean, and it's funny that pitch is probably his best pitch, but he needs. I think we've talked about this in the past, but he needs that fastball sinker like working as well. Because if you
Yep.
just can find a little bit, just a little bit of deception, that pitch is nasty. And it's funny. I feel like, I mean, without getting too crazy into like the statistics, but the RPM on that slider has to be so high, like because it
Oh,
really
it
does
is.
spin so much. It's ridiculous. But yeah, and I totally agree. Like that, I feel like in the beginning of the year when we like talk about the Phillies a lot, we'd be like, wow, yeah, this Kirkring guy's finally like molding into our closer. And as soon as it went a little rough, like he's not good. He also had what 1 or 2 solid outings against like the Twins and the Marlins that I was like, okay, you might get it back.
I wonder if a lot of guys towards the end of the season were treating the games after they clinched the NL East as kind of a I'm going to go out, I'm going to play stress free baseball. I'd strike out, I'd strike out. If we lose, we're still a playoff team. Almost like conserving all their focus, attention, and energy towards the playoffs. Like, don't be shocked if Philly comes out and in the first 5 innings they put up like 6 or 7 runs.
Nice.
Um,
Nice. Thank you. Thank
dude,
you.
I,
I
lo-
needed that.
I love that stuff right now. But it's like I do think that they put a lot of their focus towards the playoffs, and that they're saving themselves that way because I feel like the end of last year they were so hot at the end, and then they went cold. Versus this year, like we were really hot for a stretch, we clinched, and then we kind of got not like we weren't cold, like we were still winning, but it wasn't the blowout wins that we were seeing when guys like Bader, Schwarber, Harper, JT were on. Like I think they're gonna come out and it's gonna be almost like that stretch
Yeah, no, I
where
actually agree. And I was
I
also
wonder
thinking as well. Yeah, go ahead.
if they've even had talks like as a clubhouse being like, okay, we clinched, we got the bye, let's save ourselves. Like let's not work ourselves to the point where we get to the postseason and we're all fatigued. Let's go out there, play some ball, and then just absolutely kick ass.
That's my hope, if I'm gonna be honest. Like that's really my hope. The funny thing is with this team too, like they're very hot and cold. Obviously, I think we could notice that from the past 4 years
Mm-hmm.
now. They're very hot and cold, but when they're hot, they are probably the best team in baseball, and I don't really think it's that close. Um,
No.
but I do agree. I feel like that. I don't know if this can make sense, but I feel like that last week was a lot of experimental stuff because I noticed the pitchers specifically trying different sequences than they usually do. Like
It did.
again, like let's just go back to Kirkering. Kirkering specifically threw way less sliders and way more hard stuff because I think he was trying to see how he could fit that deception in
Mm-hmm.
versus when he's mainly slider and then sometimes uses the sinker fastball. Like I think it's a little bit something like that. But I actually don't hate that because I do agree. I feel like last year we almost clinched a little too early, like in like a weird way, and then they kept trying to win. And then this time
Mm-hmm.
they were like, okay, let's clinch, let's get the bye, and then they had what 7 days like in between that. Yeah, actually, yeah, it was. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a week when they clinched the bye, and then within the end of the season. So then they kind of just like took the foot off the gas a little bit. I'm a little worried that the first 4 innings will be rough hitting wise, just because they're just not going to be able to get at bats in. But I would like. I mean, I'm just going to say, and then I'll pass it off to you for your opinion. But I think the scrimmage was a great idea. I
Oh,
think that does a lot more than what people sometimes think. Even just one, even just doing your typical routine and getting out on the field. Harper went 3 for 3 with a dinger. Like it's little things like that. And apparently Jesus Luzardo looked amazing.
he looked
Um,
great.
so it's like little stuff like that that I feel like is a lot mentally that you're like, okay, let's do this now, and then we'll play for real on Saturday. So do you think that I feel like that definitely made us better compared to last year with the bye?
Staying loose, seeing live pitches, especially these from like Luzardo, who pumped damn near 100. I know Duran pitched, so I don't know the batters who faced Duran, but seeing guys throw like that, I think is going to be huge, especially when you go up against the Dodgers, where you got guys that throw kind of hard, like Otani. I know he's
Sure.
around 100 with really good
Yeah.
stuff.
Sasaki.
Snell is deceptive. Sasaki, yeah, his fastball kind of sits. But Snell, he's
It
got the
does.
deception to a lot of
Yep.
his pitches. So I know Suarez didn't pitch, but like who was it, Nola?
Yeah, Nola
Yeah.
was the other
So
one.
I
Yeah.
mean, Snell might be rough because that's going to be a bit of adjustment. Um, but I mean, I think we're going to come out swinging and not being overly aggressive, being a little bit more selective, and I think we're going to be putting up multiple runs in the first couple of innings.
That really wasn't. I mean, I'm trying not to compare it too much to that Mets series last year, But if you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
it was a Kyle Schwarber leadoff home run into the second deck. So like it's like little stuff like that where I'm like maybe they are trying to hold it in for now. I really think this crowd is going to be next level too because I mean I think and I felt this way too. It wasn't even just the crowd. I feel like the two of us also felt this way. I was a little afraid of the Mets last year because I was like, wow, like in that September we did play them in what a 3 or 4 game series in Citi Field, and then we got swept. And that was when
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I don't want to play the Mets in the playoffs. But you kind of like flash forward to now where we actually played the Dodgers in LA, beat them in two out of the 3 games handedly. Um, Especially in that second one, it looked kind of easy. First one was back and forth, a 10th inning game. Um, but we beat them, and now I'm like, okay, like I could play the Dodgers. Like I don't feel like not afraid. I feel like afraid is the wrong word, but like intimidated maybe. Um, but I feel more confident now playing the Dodgers because we just beat them. So I feel like it's like little stuff like that that I feel like will make the crowd even go crazier. And I feel like the crowd and us and all the Phillies fans know that this is probably going to be the best series period of this entire postseason.
That is what everybody's saying on socials right now. This like people want this series to be a 7 game series just because this is almost like the Brewers are great. Don't get me wrong. They've been probably the best team this whole season.
Yeah,
But you got
probably.
the Dodgers and the Phillies, teams filled with superstars
Yep.
going at it.
Yep. I'm totally with you. And it's funny, like not obviously not that the NLD is scripted in any way, shape, or form. I mean it might be, we have no idea. But I feel like if this game did go 5, which I don't want it to go 5 for my mental health, I do not want it to go the full 5. But if it did go 5, I feel like every game would like break like TBS viewing records. uh,
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. Exactly like you said, there's so many stars all over the place. You have Bryce Harper versus Shohei Ohtani, but then you also have people like Kyle Schwarber, who has hit the most home runs in the NL, versus Shohei Ohtani, who's number 2 in that category. It's like little stuff like that that
Mm-hmm.
build the storylines compared to the other game where it's probably going to be like I don't really know who's going to win today. I'm kind of hoping it's the Cubs, but if the Cubs beat the Padres, it's going to be Cubs Brewers. And no offense, people are going to watch our game over that game.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to do so well viewership wise, and obviously we're all going to watch. I mean, there's really going to be no fluctuation for the Phillies fans. Like I guarantee you that we're all watching every game.
Yep.
It is going to be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. Now, one other thing I do want to talk about before we head out of here, I want to talk about uh, how Trey Turner will look and what this lineup should look like throughout both the postseason and like this specific series, and then all throughout. Hopefully, assuming that we move past the Dodgers, but I don't think I'm going to start
Mm-hmm.
assuming that yet. But
Yeah.
what do you think
Smart.
that is going to kind of look like with the lineup and Trey Turner, and is he going to come back fully healthy? Or let me just hear your thoughts.
I think he'll be back around 90%. Like I know he was facing live pitching off of some of our top prospects, not Painter, but top pitching spot prospects in the minor leagues. I know he was doing well. They said his hamstring is 100%. I don't know if that means he's going to be stealing bases. Um, I'm sure like his defense is good, but I think he'll be just fine. Maybe in that bat or two to like pick it back up. I think he's going to be like we're going to be fine, and I would still have him as the leadoff hitter,
Me too.
like without a doubt,
Me too.
because I think it's a different look. It's like last year we had Schwarber lead off, and he hits that leadoff home run against the Mets. We go up 1-0. Nothing happened after that. If you have him in the 2 or 3 spot, you got Trey Turner, potentially Harrison Bader on base, like 2 of our hottest hitters right now. Like since we got Bader, he's been one of the best hitters in baseball. Trey Turner throughout the whole he is the NL batting champion. He 304 average throughout the whole season. If he was healthy, would probably have gotten over 200 hits. Like that is how good his season was. And
100%.
I don't think the 2 weeks he had off is going to change that much. But yeah, Trey Turner is going to be my leadoff guy. Harrison Bader, 2-hole hitter. Though I do
Okay.
have a feeling, I have a feeling he'll probably be 6 or 7 behind Marsh. that was on accident.
I know.
It's an order. It's the batting order. I wasn't trying to do that. I would go Turner, Bader, Schwarber, Harper. Then
Wait, what? Wait, you're putting Harper at 5?
4.
Okay.
Putting Harper at 4.
Sorry.
JT at 5. Marsh, Bohm, Stott.
Okay. That I like it because it's different. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like that a lot.
Yeah, you could even make an argument for Brandon Marsh being higher in the order because that is how well he's been playing.
I totally agree. It's funny that is a different idea, but I actually like that. I mean, this lineup, it's funny. This lineup right now with Bader and Marsh being so hot, like you really could put them anywhere except for 3 or 4. Like
Yep.
you really could. Yeah, I feel the same way about Trey Turner. I feel like it will take him a few at bats. But at the same time, I don't think you move him off of that one spot. Like you just can't. And
I forgot Kepler. I knew I forgot someone.
Yeah, he's in there somewhere.
I don't know if it's a lefty or righty. Are you starting Kepler or Casty like based on it, or
Yes.
are you just you are?
I am. Me personally. I don't know about you. That's how I would approach it.
I think for the start, especially the first 2 games, regardless of who's going, I think I'm gonna go Kepler.
Yeah.
Just because he's been better. He is better defensively. His bat has been on. Last time we played the Dodgers, he destroyed them.
Right. I know.
He pimped that one. We saw Kepler pimp job before Castellanos hit his first home run since July 15th or something like that.
And you're not wrong.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I just think my lineup would be Trey number 1. I feel like that's a given. I would still put Schwarber 2, and I only say that because if you think about it, Schwarber has not moved from 2 in how long? Like it's been like even when Trey was out, they put Bader at 1 and Schwarber at 2. That's the only reason why I keep him there. And then I would do Harper at 3. And then 4, 5, 6 is where it gets weird for me because I was trying to do this in my head like before this, and I think I do JT 4. 5, I think I go
Marsh.
6, I think I do Bohm. 7, I think I do Kepler. 8, who am I missing?
Bader.
8, I do. See what I mean? It's so tough. Okay, actually, I think back. 4 you do JT. 5 you do Bader. I'm just screw the righty lefty. 4 JT, 5 Bader. 6 is gonna be Marsh. 7 is gonna be, I guess, Kepler. Oh no, 7's gonna be Bohm. 8's gonna be Kepler. 9 is gonna be Stott. But that could also change with Castellanos in there, if that makes sense, because I think he will try to do something like that, like a righty lefty type of thing. But that 4, 5, 6, 7 is really like I don't even know who is going to go there. I think Stott's a great nine-hole hitter.
Stott, regardless of how well he's hitting, especially in the postseason, keep him in.
I agree, and not because he's not good, but because he's that good, in my opinion.
He's a really good turnaround guy in the lineup.
He's probably the best turnaround guy on our team, in my opinion. And if somebody gets hurt, or if you want to sub somebody in, Edmundo Sosa, the best utility guy in the entire league, is just sitting on your bench. So he could be there too.
He was really high at the end too.
He was.
He was probably the reason why we won some of those games.
Absolutely. The more I think about it, like where would this team be both last year and the year before when Trey Turner went out and when Bohm went out and whoever went out? Where would we be without Edmundo Sosa? I thought. And initially, when we traded for him in 22, I was like, who the hell is Edmundo Sosa?
He's been
all
great.
I knew him from was the meme of him spinning at
hitting
doinking the ump. That's the only way I knew Edmundo Sosa. But now he's one of the best utility guys in the entire league. He's one of the fastest guys in the entire league as well. Like his impact has been so great. But I think our lineups are solid. And I feel like, and I'm not gonna lie, I only put Bader that low because I listened to, I think it was yesterday, Rob was on WIP, and I think he was asked about this, like about like where you're gonna put Bader, and then he mentioned how important it was that the bottom. This is a quote: "The bottom of the lineup needs to be good." And I'm like, needs to be good. Like, I mean, Bader's probably down there. I'm assuming.
I'm assuming that's more of a balance thing than
That's what I'm
should be.
thinking.
It's just because the bottom of our lineup's
Yes,
been high. But when you put like if you approach the lineup from 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, putting Bader down there, it as much as I would love him to be the 2-hole hitter, having him as a third leadoff guy in the sixth spot makes a ton of sense.
it makes perfect sense. I'm totally with you. Whatever happens, again, we're just predicting. Like none of this could fully happen. We could get swept by the Dodgers. Who knows? I hope not, but who knows? Okay. Do we have anything else to talk about? I'm trying to think of it. I was trying to keep this week.
What pitchers are you going with? So game one
Oh
is
yeah,
obviously
take it.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Game two, game three, and then if there's a
Yeah.
necessary game 4 or 5.
I think I'm rocking. So I was looking at the spacing of the games, like days wise. It's definitely in our favor for us to pitch multiple starting pitchers multiple times, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Sanchez. I'm assuming
Yeah,
Sanchez is going to go twice.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So obviously Sanchez won. The two of us talked about this off camera, but I would definitely do Luzardo too. Not because I think he's better than Ranger, because he's not, but Luzardo too at home, where his ERA. You take out the Milwaukee game that the two of us were at. You take out that game, and he is so good
Bloodbath.
at home. It's like not even funny. But I would definitely do Luzardo at home because I feel like every time I think you would agree. Every time I watch him pitch at home, not only does he pitch well, he also like screams on the mound, which
Dude,
is
he's
funny.
gritty.
He's
He's
gritty.
gritty.
He freaks out. I like it. Um, so
He's
I just
he's
think that's a
he's a,
better
he's a
matchup.
strikeout leader too. Like over 200
Exactly.
strikeouts, which is
Exactly.
crazy because I mean I feel like a lot of people overlooked the move when it first happened. I mean, it's been great. Like, yes, he did struggle a little bit at points this year because he had the 2 meltdowns, but he was great other than
Yep.
those 2 games.
Yep. No, I'm totally with you. Um, and then I think our three is got to be Ranger. I like if I learned anything last year about Ranger Suarez is that he has the slowest heartbeat I've ever seen. When he worked through 4 of the toughest innings I've ever seen out of a Phillies playoff pitcher, and then let up what, no runs? That's ridiculous,
4 bases loaded jams, 0 runs
dude.
allowed.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So and all of this in New York in the elimination game. So like it's little things like that where I'm just like, okay, he's ready, and let's just be honest here. That Dodgers crowd is going to be nowhere near as gritty, loud, or whatever as like a New York crowd or a Philadelphia crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They're Dodgers fans, no offense. So I would rather him in LA, and then depending on when Game 4 is, I would probably do Sanchez in Game 4, and then just go out and then hopefully we don't have to go to a Game 5. I think the two of us would like to not see a Game 5 because I feel like if we go to a Game 5 it's stressful. But I think Game 5 you got to start Jesus Luzardo again. But at the same time, I think a Game 5 you also throw like all hands on deck. Let's not lose Game 5 type vibes. Would you agree with this? What are your 5?
Mine's different. So I'm gonna go
I like it.
Luzardo game 2. I'm gonna go Nola game 3 because I don't. I mean, having 3 lefties in a row,
It is a lot.
it kind of is a lot. I want to change it up a little bit, so I'm gonna go. Sanchez is doing game 1. They've already said that. Luzardo game 2. Nola game 3. He looked better at the end.
He did.
And he also has postseason success. Like he's done well in the postseason. He has experience. Suarez game 4. Because if we win the first 2 games in Philly, you put Nola out there.
Yeah.
Not
Actually, yeah,
only
you're right.
is Nola dependable, but you're giving Suarez more time to recover from the contusion.
Yeah, the bruise. Yeah.
And then like if the Dodgers win a game, it's almost like you have Suarez pitching the 4th game, which, like you said, one of the most relaxed pitchers in all of baseball, does well in any environment, any situation, and he can give you just about 6 innings. Like I don't know if they'll have a leash for him, but he is a guy that can go 5 or 6 innings, and then that is when you go to just all of your best bullpen pieces.
Yeah. I actually don't. The funny thing is that's actually not that crazy to say too. Like that's actually very real because I also listened to the same interview with Rob Thompson on WIP, and he said how much he still trusts Nola even throughout
Mm-hmm.
his rough, season. He kept talking about how much like he's just a winner, yada yada yada, like just going on and on and on about Aaron Nola, and which made me think like, oh my god, like we actually might see him in the NLDS. And he did make a good point too. That start against the Twins, again, we were talking about it. Like maybe we were like they weren't going 100%, but he looked amazing against the Twins. And he even didn't he have a great game against the Mets too? What was it, the Mets he had a great game against in September?
It's almost like when there's something to the game, or if he's feeling like he's a competitive guy. When he's like with the Mets, they're rivals.
Exactly.
He shut him out. The Twins, maybe he just wanted to look his best for the last game, almost like work his craft, get everything down to 100%, and just be lights out.
100%. And maybe that Twins game also is to put pressure on Rob to be like, yo, like I'm Aaron Nola still,
I'm
like
here.
play me,
I'm
and
here.
I'm definitely here still. I think in a 7 game format, he definitely pitches like 3 or 4. I like 100%.
Yeah,
Regardless.
7 games. We're definitely seeing him. Maybe even Bueller.
Yeah, and that's also something that we'll talk about a little bit. But Bueller has been great. Also, what has he let up 1 run in 13 innings? I think I saw, which is great.
Yeah, and
Which is
he gave up the home run to Harper yesterday. I don't know if it's a thing where like Bueller missed a spot or if Harper's locked in, because Harper was also 3 for 3.
I think Harper's locked in. We know. Listen,
I think he's
listen.
locked.
I think he's locked in because it was as soon as it hits October, Bryce Harper is a maniac. Immediately. So in a funny way, this doesn't surprise me. But I do I do like Walker Bueller, and I feel like how maybe this is a crazy thing to say, but like I feel like they're almost going to use Walker Bueller like how they use Walker Bueller with Taijuan Walker at the end of the year. Like, but except swap Nola into that, where if you just feel the vibes, Nola can go 3 innings. If he's shaky for 3 innings, then take him out, put Bueller in for 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden you get to the sixth ish, and then you put in your bullpen. I mean, I feel like we could probably see that 3 game. I'm gonna hope game 3, or sorry, I'm gonna hope game 4 in like the NLCS, not this series, but I'm talking like in a 7 game format. But going back to your Nola point, like I don't think that is that crazy. But I really wouldn't hate that because dude is Aaron Nola still. And I do like your point that I think he does just pitch better in big games because let's be honest, Aaron Nola is the longest tenured Philly. And if something that he's learned throughout his, I don't even know how, like, what, 13 or 14-year career here, is that we all hate the Mets. So I feel like he hates the Mets just as much as we do. Especially after he watched Rhys Hoskins get doinked and then Rhys Hoskins hit a home run after that. Like little stuff like that. He watched Jose Alvarado try to pick a fight with the entire Mets team. Like it's like
That was awesome.
the little so cool. But like Aaron Nola's been here throughout that entire journey almost. So I feel like he hates the Mets as much as that. But I actually like the game 3 thought, especially if we win game 1 and 2, because I feel like there's less pressure on him to be perfect, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it like that, but yeah.
If we lose the first 2 games, I am going to go Suarez pitching game 3.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah.
What if we split? Would you rock Suarez if we split the series in Philly, or would you do Nola, you think?
No, I'm still going Suarez game 3 if we split.
Suarez. I like that too. And then maybe Nola 4 if we split. I know it's tough.
If we split and then we win game 1 in LA,
yeah,
I would go Nola.
Okay.
If we lose the first game in LA and he's ready, I'm gonna put Sanchez in there. But that's the type of game where it's like all hands on deck, where you go Sanchez, Bueller, and then the rest of the bullpen. Like even if Sanchez just goes 4 innings.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think that's exactly how I would have it too, because I feel like they would approach, if they did lose that game 3 and it's 2-1 Dodgers, I feel like they'd be like, just get us back to Philly, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if, imagine like, say a crazy scenario where Alec Boehm goes 0 for the first 3 games. I think game 4 you might see Edmundo Sosa. Like it's like little stuff like that that I feel like it's like we're gonna push to win right now because we need to. Like there's no like maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll work the matchups. No, like let's start winning type of thing. I do totally agree with that. And then probably game 5 is probably gonna be Luzardo then, right?
Yep. Yep.
I like that. Luzardo is a big
I
game
trust him.
pitcher.
I
He just
trust in
hasn't
that
shown it yet.
situation. Yep.
Yes, I totally agree. He's a big game pitcher, and I feel like he's just waiting to show everybody. I feel like he's just waiting. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm so ready to see this. I feel like maybe this is
We're
a
gonna see a different
crazy
version
thing
of
to
him.
say. I think we're gonna see a locked in Jesus Luzardo because I feel like he's finally fixed the tipping pitches thing where he kind of changed his glove. I think it's little stuff like that where I'm just like excited to finally see like Jesus Luzardo. Like here he comes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, do you have anything else? Do we have anything else? I'm trying to think. I think we covered everything. Rotation,
I think
bullpen,
we got
starting
it. We got it.
pitching. Yes. Okay. I can't believe
We're ready.
we're doing this on Saturday. I'm so excited. This is going to be so much
Dude,
fun.
I can't
mean, I
wait.
think it is.
I can't wait.
I think it's going to be fun. We're going to find out if it's going to be fun or not. I just hope my biggest hope is that we don't see a repeat of game 1 last year where we scored too early and they were like, "Oh, like we're going to win the whole thing." And then we took our foot off the gas and then we lose. So,
I could
I
go on and on about that, but I won't. But I don't think I've got this feeling it's gonna be different situation, different scenario. Like the
agree.
Dodgers, they beat the Reds soundly. The Mets practically walked off the Brewers after they thought that their season was over. And I think the Mets went in with more of a drive, more energy. The Dodgers kind of walked over the Reds and are almost like expecting to win. And I think they're going to be in for, like, they know it's going to be a battle, but I think they're going to be in for a little more of a shock than what they're anticipating.
I feel the same way. I can't wait. Last thing we'll do. Who is winning this series and in how many games?
I'm going to say Phil's in 4.
Phil's in 4. I'm gonna go. That was my initial prediction, but I'll go Phil's in 5 for
I like that.
crazy game 5/game 7 scenario. That's gonna be crazy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all so much for watching today. Make sure to follow us on the socials. This will be on Spotify, YouTube. Continue to watch us there. Grab all of our info and stuff on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Go Phils. Red October. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Eagles also have a game. I don't really care about the Eagles this week. No offense. We're 4-0, and I kind of hate my team. But hey, the Phils are playing on Saturday, game 1. Let's go. All right. We'll see you all in the next one. Go Phils.